Hi there, my name is Kim Nixon. Welcome to my online yoga studio. This is where I teach all of my live streaming yoga classes. I have been teaching yoga for Maine General since 2014. I've been a yoga teacher since the end of 2012. I've been a massage therapist since 2009. So, also prior to that, and I feel like this is important because it really has uh, impacted the way I teach, the lens that I teach yoga through. I was a state government employee for 29 years, so I'm a state government retiree. So for 29 years, I sat at a desk um, doing admin, doing tech support later on, but sat at a desk 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 29 years. So today's practice, very simple. First of all, what you're going to need is a pillow or a bolster. I figure most, unless you're regular yoga practitioners, you probably don't have a bolster, but run and grab a pillow if you don't already have one. Most of today's practice, at least the first part of it, can be done from a chair. So what we're working on today, this is class 3 of my Therapeutic Applications of Yoga series. And today's practice is focused on yoga for the support of upper back and shoulders. So I will be doing just some very simple movement, a little self-massage, a little isometric yoga, and I'm going to show you a posture at the very end, which is, I always call it juicy and delicious. Everyone loves it. I demonstrate it often. It's a posture that I recommend for my massage clients often. So it's excellent for upper back and shoulders and also for chest and neck. So you can do this first part seated in a chair or seated on the floor like me. If you're seated on the floor, make sure that your body is relatively comfortable. Make sure you can feel your sits bones. If you don't feel that you can sit up straight and aligned, then definitely bring in some extra padding. So bring in some extra height, a folded blanket, an extra folded towel, anything to bring those sits bones up a bit. It'll make it much more comfortable for the hips. Your body will be able to align. So the recommendation is that the hips be at the same height as the knees. So we're just going to start with a little breath work just to center and quiet the body, because that helps with everything. It helps muscles to relax when we shift the way that we breathe. So just start to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, whether you're on the floor, in a chair. Close the eyes for a moment if you feel safe doing so. Just in through the nose, out through the nose, slowing the breath, lengthening the breath. Lengthening the breath, bringing it deeper into the body. And then open the eyes. We're just going to start to, so hands on the knees, hands on your lap if you're in a chair. Just start to circle the shoulders back. So feel the opening in the chest as you do this. We're not going to spend a real lot of time in any particular movement today. I'm just giving you a whole bunch of tools that you can use. And many of these tools, this one in particular, I would highly recommend if you work at a desk. Try to remember to do this a couple of times a day. Just open up that chest. So what happens when we work at a desk, or in most of the other things that we do in our American lifestyle, we're always forward working. So maybe head dropped down, looking at something, shoulders usually rolled inward, texting, computing, mousing, driving, eating. So the chest gets very tight. When the chest gets tight, it affects the upper back and the shoulders. So a couple more rolls here. And then rolling one shoulder forward, just one. Easier when you're doing the forward roll to focus on just one. Awkward enough, rolling just one forward. You might not have the same range of motion that I do in rolling your shoulder forward, unless this is something that you have as a daily practice, switching shoulders. So, a lot of what we're focusing on today is targeting the tightness in the chest. Because when we have upper back pain, it's often, and I see this on my massage table all the time, often coming from the tightness in the chest. So, relax both shoulders. Now, we're just going to do a little self massage. So, left hand, right shoulder. And I just want you to, just with your left hand, just massage your chest muscle a little bit. And just notice if you feel any tenderness or any tightness. But then I want you to just pick a spot and just gently just press your fingers into that spot and start to roll that right shoulder back. And breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Keep that breath flowing. If you were on my massage table, I would be cueing you the entire time to keep you breathing, switching, finding a new spot. Maybe you feel a little tightness and tenderness, maybe you don't. And breathing. So the breath, as we breathe, is settling the nervous system, the central nervous system, switching sides. So opposite hand to shoulder. So now right hand, left shoulder. And just rolling that shoulder back. So when we relax the central nervous system at the same time as we're doing movement or directing our attention to a certain area of the body, it helps the muscles to relax, because when the central nervous system is relaxed, it starts to relax the whole rest of the body if you haven't already switched and found a new spot. And then just relaxing the arms down for a moment. If you're seated on the floor like I am, if you're in a chair, you're all set. But if you're seated on the floor like I am, bringing the feet out in front, just dropping into a little windshield wiper. This is just to give the hips a break, because when we're seated in that posture for a long period of time, not comfortable for the body. So that's why make sure you have plenty of height here. Extra blanket under you, extra towel under you, whatever you need. So now, clasping the hands up over your head, and if you can, so if you have a shoulder issue going on, just leave that shoulder out of the mix. Clasping the fingers, I'm going to bring those fingers behind my head, and then I'm going to bring myself back up into alignment. So if you feel so tight in the chest that this is pulling your head forward, that you can't bring your spine back up into alignment, then I would have you do this in front of your head instead, because that just means that if we're so tight, we're really not going to get anything out of it if our head is drawn forward in this posture. So if you have your hands behind the head, bring the body back into alignment. You're welcome to place your hands in front of the head as well. If you have a shoulder issue, or shoulder pain, then just leave that hand out of the mix. So what I'm going to do is extend through the spine, try to lengthen my body, not doing anything with the elbows yet, just feeling that stretch in the chest, armpit, chest area. And on the next inhale, see if you can open the elbows a little bit and feel more of a stretch. Nothing should hurt. Listen to your body. And on the exhale, let those elbows come forward. We're going to start to exaggerate this a little bit more. On the inhale, opening elbows up. And on the exhale, bringing elbows forward and maybe letting the head roll forward a bit. And then inhale, open. In through the nose, out through the nose still, and exhale, contract. Core is engaged here gently. Inhale, open. And exhale, contract. Last one. Inhale, open. And exhale, contract. Releasing the clasp, just shaking your arms out a bit. So any of those things that we just did can be done at your desk, at work, anytime. Making your way up off your blanket or your towels or whatever you're using, making your way all the way up to hands and knees. So hands and knees, we're just coming into cat-cow. Do this all the time in any yoga class that I teach. So on the inhale, just lift the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the crown of the head. This is universally good for the body, for the nervous system. On the exhale, tilt that tailbone under, draw your navel toward your spine, round your back up, drop your head. See if you can release the weight of your head. So see if you can relax the neck. And then transitioning, leading with tip of the tailbone on the inhale, dropping the belly. Now I want you to start to notice our target area, tilting that tailbone under, rounding the back up, dropping the head. Try and stretch into that shoulder blade area just a little bit. And again, try to release the weight of the head. On the inhale, dropping the belly. I want you to notice almost drawing your shoulders back a tiny bit. Feel that opening in the chest. And coming right back to neutral. So we're going to come right down onto our bellies for some isometric yoga. So bringing your right arm out to the side. So coming right down onto your belly, bringing your right arm straight out to the side, and you might bring something in. You might even bring in your pillow as long as it's not too fat of a pillow, because you don't want your head way up in this. So I'm not going to use a pillow. I'm just going to use my left hand, and I'm going to lay my head on my left hand, or I'm going to lay my head on my fist of my left hand, right arm extended. So on the inhale here, press this arm into the floor. Make sure you're able to relax your neck here. So maybe a pillow, maybe your hand. So on the inhale, press gently into the floor. This is isometric. We know we're not going to actually move the floor. This is forcing our muscles to engage. On the exhale, isolating just the arm, lifting the arm up. And this is hard. You're going to feel your shoulder blade engage in that right arm. And then inhale, press. And exhale, lift. One more. So these are very, very powerful. Inhale, press. Exhale, lift. At freeing up, the area around the shoulders and the shoulder blades. So drop that arm down. We're going to change this so that our arm is in a 90-degree angle, like goalpost or cactus arms. And then on your next inhale, press that arm into the floor. It shouldn't be rolling. You shouldn't be pressing so hard that your body is starting to roll to the side. Just press that arm into the floor on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift just the forearm. It's shocking how hard this is. So just the lower part of the arm from the elbow, and then inhale, press. And you can see I can't lift much of my arm. And exhale, lift. And inhale, press. And exhale, lift. Relaxing. We're just going to switch sides. So extend your left arm out. I'm just going to switch so that you will actually see my left arm. So now left arm extended. Find something. So I could even put a folded blanket under my head here if I needed that extra lift. Left arm extended. And on the inhale, press. And on the exhale, lift. Notice how hard it is. We're bringing awareness to this whole sort of shoulder girdle area. Inhale, press. Exhale, lift. Again, listen to your body. If you have current pain in your shoulder, you don't ever want to do anything that brings more pain, ever. Inhale, press. Exhale, lift. Switching to that 90-degree angle, that cactus arm. The whole rest of your body should be relaxed. So just take a deep breath in and a cleansing breath out here. And then inhale, press. And exhale, try to lift that forearm just a bit. And inhale, press. So with this practice and exhale, lift, it's sort of like we're waking up some forgotten muscles. There are muscles sometimes that we should be using that we don't. Inhale, press. And exhale, lift. And just relaxing that arm down for a moment. Let's just bring the arms down to the sides, turning the head one way or the other. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Turning the head to the other side. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Engaging the core. Bringing the hands in under the shoulders, pressing your way all the way up here. And then I promise to show you my most recommended posture. So we are coming into a posture that's called reclined goddess. It's called in most styles of yoga, and in yin, which is really my specialty, what I teach the most of, what I've been teaching for many years, and what I've primarily taught for Maine General, yin yoga. It's called reclined butterfly. So I'm going to show you, because I think probably more people have a pillow than those that might have access to a bolster. I'm going to show you with a pillow first. So what you're going to do, this is the best posture. So you can literally do this posture in your bed or on a nice, comfortable carpeted floor or in front of the fireplace. I would recommend, especially if you have upper back issues, especially if you have shoulder issues, I would recommend doing this posture. Just start with, do it for 3 or 4 minutes a day, and then see how much of a difference you could start to notice in your body. So folding your pillow in half the long way. And I have a foam pillow, so I'm going to have to wrangle it because it's not just going to stay folded in half. So just know that if you're using a pillow, you're going to have to wrangle it a little bit. Now I'm going to bring this behind my spine. I'm going to continue to wrangle, bring it behind my spine, and I'm just going to fold it as I go down. I'm going down so that this pillow is coming right up my spine as best I can. Again, certainly harder with a pillow, in a sense, more accessible with a pillow, harder with a pillow than with a bolster just because you have to wrangle it. But I just want you to feel the chest opening here. So soles of the feet on the mat, maybe lift your hips, maybe find a way. So we want this as best we can to get it to align with the spine. So to get it to vertically go up the spine. And then I'm just going to drop my arms off the edge quite a distance away from my body. So I don't have them all the way out to a T. I've got them at more like a 45-degree angle from my body, and my elbows and my forearms are completely resting on the floor. Now my head is dropped off the back of my pillow a little bit because of the length of my pillow and because of my position here. If that's uncomfortable for you, you could come back up. You could adjust your pillow so it starts a little higher on your spine. But what I really want you to notice, this is all about this area right in here and what this posture is doing. So I'm relaxing in here. I feel the chest opening. I also feel an opening in this sort of V area of my rib cage. So this posture is also actually freeing up the space that we use to breathe. But excellent, also notice on your backside what's happening is we've actually decreased a bit the distance. We're taking that big stretch out of the back and giving the upper back a little more space. This is actually bringing the shoulder blades a little bit closer together, giving the upper back a minute to rest while the front body, the tightness in the front body stretches out. Also opening up this armpit area and this sort of front of the shoulder area. So I'm going to come out. If you found your posture, you could stay there for another minute. I'm just going to demonstrate before we end this class. I'm just going to demonstrate for those who might have a bolster. Excellent, excellent on a bolster. So the only real difference is, so in this posture, you would have your feet. I'm not even going to show you the full expression because we're focused on upper body today, but you would either have the soles of your feet on the mat, knees bent and just dropped toward each other, or you could have the legs out straight. So using a bolster, I'm going to push it away from my lower back a little bit, and this is just more universal for those who might have tightness in the lower back or low back issues. Away from the sacrum is better. Super easy on a bolster. I'm just going to lie down in this bolster. My head is able to rest perfectly on the bolster. I'm dropping my arms out to the side again to like a 45-degree angle, palms turned up. So palms turned up because that's Opening up these shoulder joints a bit and allowing the chest to open. Same thing with legs. So I can either walk the soles of my feet apart a bit and drop the knees together. You'll notice if you're using a bolster, so you can also extend the legs out straight here. But what you might notice if you're using a bolster, if you started with it too close to your sacrum and you have lower back tightness, you might notice a little pinchiness in the lower back with the legs out straight. But if you're perfectly comfortable with legs out straight, then that's fine as well. So slowly coming out of this posture, engage your core, roll over onto one side or the other, coming off the pillow or off the bolster. You can, once again, anything that I've showed you here today, you can use, a lot of it you can use daily at your desk to keep chest and shoulders open, and to hopefully help alleviate some upper back pain and tension. And I really appreciate you joining me for this practice. Please feel free to join me for a live streaming class anytime you like. I teach 4 live streaming classes a week and hope to be back at Maine General teaching a live class when everything reopens. So you'll find everything you could possibly want to know about me, class schedule, registration information at kimnixonyoga.com. Thank you for joining me for practice. Namaste.